Good evening on this very hot and humid Monday night. Man, y'all, if you live in Texas and you walk out, we literally walked outside at like what was it, 9:30?
Nine
And
thirty.
it literally we walked out of the doors of the store and it felt like your breath got taken away cuz it's so humid outside. But here's the deal. I shouldn't complain because I'd much rather that than 25 degrees because I don't want to be freezing. So,
It's hard to say. Somebody that doesn't like cold, she's
whew,
talking about, oh, it's so hot out here. She don't want it to be cold though.
no,
Ask her. She'll
no,
tell you.
I take the heat any
Yeah,
day over
exactly.
freezing. I'd rather sweat than my fingers and toes hurt because I'm cold.
Well, I hope
So,
you guys had a good Monday. Hope if you had to go to work today, hope you had a good day. Hope it went how you wanted it to go. Um, Before we start, this has nothing to do with our podcast. I just figured, hey, we have a new backdrop. I just want to share
for
something
those
with
of
you.
you that are watching either on
Right.
Facebook or YouTube,
You,
or if you watch the video portion of our podcast, you
th-
see a new
there's
scene.
no man cave behind me. No jerseys. No nothing like that. We had wanted to change it up a little bit, but if you see behind me, we see the picture. It's a picture of horses. This is, I guess, if you want to call it, you call it our dad wall. These are things that will remind us of our dads. That right there is it's Tina's dad. He did everything horses. I mean, rode them to train them to you name it. He loved horses. Okay, and so that picture reminds us of him loving the horses. And I don't know if you can see it or not. Back up and here's some. Yeah, right there. It's like a stick because that's what it is. It's a staff. It is a my dad is full blood Seminole Indian. Okay, and he makes these staffs by hand. He goes and finds the wood and carves them out by hand. And so he made. I'm not sure which one that is.
That one is mine.
There's Choctaw
That's a
colors,
Joshua one.
and the other one is, if you can see it, it's the Seminole Nation colors. So it's both of our tribes together. So he made those for us, and so that has nothing to do with our podcast today. I just wanted to share something with you that reminds us of our fathers and that they,
It's
yeah,
important to
it's
us.
important to us. So hey, it's okay. Anyway, today or tonight, I should say, we're gonna talk a little bit about you're not alone. I know sometimes as we go through life and we deal with some things and just life in general, sometimes I think that we feel like that we're all by ourselves and there's no one that's ever went through things that we're going through. And let's be honest, we've all felt that way. We've all felt like I'm the lone man or woman out and there's no way that anyone's ever felt this way, right? And I don't know why we feel that way. I can't really explain it why, but I felt that way. I know Tina's probably felt. I want to speak for her, but I'm sure she's felt that way. And we'll talk about more about this, but I think that's dangerous in a
Mm-hmm.
lot of ways. Major thing is if you do that, thinking you're the only one, you shut everybody else out that would want to help. Okay, and I know I'm getting probably ahead. I'm not trying to, but we just got to be careful knowing that when we've gone through something, anything, there's somebody that's been through it already, that walked through that valley,
It's
walked through
true.
that trial,
It's true.
walked through that mess, and they've made it out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe not without a bruise, maybe not without a scar, but they've made it out, right? And so when we're walking through something we've never walked through before, kind of like, well, I guess just I'll say this, kind of like a situation we're walking through now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we've never walked through it before.
No.
It's the first time, right? And so the
But we're
smart
slowly finding out that
we're
we're
not
not alone.
alone. No, we're not.
There's other people who've walked through it.
And that's important to find people that are walking or have walked through
Mm-hmm.
the same things you are.
Yeah.
Because here's what happens when you find those people, you start building a community of people that understand each other and knowing
And
oh my gosh, Tina, you're walking through this, girlfriend, I'm with you.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
thought I didn't know
yeah.
anybody dealt with that.
And you find ways to get encouragement,
Exactly.
and you're not isolated. But before we
Yeah,
get
go ahead.
into everything, I just want to make sure everybody understands we are not telling you to like go and share all of your issues and all of your dirty laundry with everybody. That's not even smart.
No.
So if you
So,
listen to this episode and that's what you get from it, that's not what we're saying at all. There are things you share, things you don't. So I'm not saying, get on Facebook every morning and be like, this is my struggle today. No, I'm not saying that. So don't put all your dirty laundry out there. Don't put every struggle out there. You know, your husband's getting on your nerves. You don't need to put on Facebook, husband for sale. I mean, I don't know. You might if you need to go on vacation and you need to, if he'll bring a profit. I'm kidding. So don't put all your mess out there for everybody. However, like Grant was saying, when you're in a struggle, when you're in a trial, sometimes isolation is our first response. And I think sometimes shame or embarrassment will cause you to go into isolation because you're thinking, well, nobody's struggled with this, and this is embarrassing for me to share, or what have you. And I feel like, especially with people from our generation, you know, you were taught, hey, suck it up, buttercup, you're fine, you're good, you'll just get over it, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, blah, blah, blah. And I just wonder now how much damage that kind of advice has caused. And then also within the church community, I feel like we have been taught bad advice. And for so long, we've just taken it as, y'all, if any of y'all listening to this are involved in church at all, you know that there is some stuff that you literally have heard since you were little that you take as the gospel truth that is no more truth to it than, you know, a bag of rocks. But because you've heard it your whole life, it must be true. You know, and some things I'm talking about, like I've heard people say you need to hush till you're healed. Well, here's the deal. If you just hush and go into the corner by yourself, y'all, sometimes that's some major mental anguish and turmoil that you should not be dealing with on your own. You can get into a really bad place if you're trying to be, you know, I gotta be strong, I gotta have it all together, you know, or share after you've overcome. Well, what if your trial is so big that your overcoming is a ways out there? That finish line is way out there. Do you really think it's okay for you to sit and struggle by yourself through the whole thing? Because I can't imagine that it is. And then, you know, you've also heard, oh, you need to share up. Well, let's just be honest. Sometimes the up people aren't worthy to help, and sometimes they're not the best people to help, and sometimes sharing up leads to covering up bad things. I mean, my point is, we've all been ingrained with some really bad ways to deal with struggles and trials, and sometimes I feel like the hiding everything, you know, and putting on this front that everything's perfect and I'm fine, not only does it hurt us, but it hurts others around us. Because then it puts up this facade of, oh, life is perfect. But what that does is it perpetuates the cycle of keeping it to myself and struggling by myself because, oh, well, every time I see them, they're always fine, so I can't talk to them about the fact that I am really struggling with keeping my home and work and marriage and everything balanced, and making sure I still like my kids and like my husband and like my job and give my best here and give my best there. Well, because they never look like they're struggling, so I got to keep it all put together. And that just makes for a very, it's just a toxic environment. And again, that shame, the embarrassment, whatever it is, that brings you to isolation, and then the isolation makes it worse, and it's just a cycle that perpetuates, you know. And just a couple of examples that I have, you know, I shared this with a few people. COVID really kicked my tail, and I had a lot of long-term effects. Like a year, 2 years ago, like Grant and I have always been active our whole married life. We love to ride bikes, we love to go hiking. If it's outside, we're all about it. And it got to the point, because of long-term effects of COVID, like I couldn't, like we went bike riding, I had to pull over and rest. We went for a hike in a park near here, like up and down, and you know, like a hike, not just a stroll through the park. And I remember Grant was like, you need to check your heart rate. And we had to sit and take a break on a big rock there on the hiking trail. That's not normal for me. But, and I'm not going to get too far off into this because I don't, you know, I'm not talking about this. but a lot of times you don't want to share about the long-term COVID effects that you're experiencing. Those effects that it had on me, y'all, were very real. But then you're nervous to share because then you get into this political conversation of, oh, well, COVID this and everybody had an opinion. And so you're struggling by yourself. And then, it's the fear of, is my heart ever going to be regular? Am I ever going to be strong again? But then you don't want to talk to anybody about it because of all of the things that are come about COVID. But then you finally start to talk to people, and it happened to a lot more people than me. Now, went to a pulmonologist, went to a cardiologist. Pulmonologist said lung function's fine. Cardiologist said, look, COVID did a number on you. Your heart's a muscle, and you're going to have to work out that muscle. So I took his advice, and I just kept moving. And I did like a full body workout with Grant the other day, checked my heart rate. Was it high? Yes. Was it as high as it used to be? No. Did I get through the entire workout without having to quit? Yes. So that's some major progress. But I had to get past the, oh my Lord, what is going on, and this and that. And because imagine if I would have just came back and said, well, COVID took my dad, so it might take me, and not went to a doctor about it, not continued to try to exercise, and not talk to anybody about it, and found out there's other people struggling with this, and there's other people that have overcome this. There's other people that are still in, struggling worse than me. But I talked to people about it. I went and sought some counsel about it, but I also did something. And so I was getting better. And then, recently we have separated from a situation, and you think you're the only one going through a situation, and then you struggle for so long and you don't say anything to anybody, and you think, I know we're the only ones dealing with this, and it's this and this and this, and then you start talking to other people. Y'all, I have a really good friend at work that went through a similar situation in dealing with someone, and when you start talking to people and you're like, oh, this is this is that, this is this, you're not alone. Y'all, I don't even know how to put it into words. And you can also start to see some truth. And once you're able to speak truth and then counsel with other people who either, like Grant said, are walking through it or have walked through it, you're like, wow. And you can see the whole bigger picture and the truth of the situation, and you're encouraged, and you've got someone that you can link arms with. But if we went back to the old advice, hush till you're healed. You have to share when it becomes a testimony. Y'all, let's just be honest. What if somebody doesn't share ever and they don't make it to the point where it's a testimony? That's awful. Don't struggle in silence. Don't struggle alone. Isolation is the worst thing you can do when you are struggling or you're in a trial.
Yeah, I'm getting a bunch of stuff right now. She's talking, but keeping quiet does not bring healing. Let me make a statement here and clear this up. Like when you hurt yourself, let's say if I'm riding a bike and I fall down on my bike and I hit my leg and I scrape it up real good, right? And I don't do anything to bring attention to my leg. I just jump on the bike and keep going. I get home, I don't do a thing about it. I just be quiet about it. I'm good, I'm fine. I broke the skin on my leg. I didn't stop to clean it. I didn't go home and clean it. I just kept that dirty and nasty wreck from my leg. What happens is that hurt in my leg, it gets infected. It gets infected and it becomes worse. You know why? I was hush about it and didn't get help for it. Hear me out. Being quiet makes it worse, doesn't bring healing. You have to talk about it. I don't understand people that think keeping stuff. My whole life And my mom, she's going to listen to this. She can vouch for this. My family is a family that shoves it under a rug and shuts up about it. That is not healthy. If there's a problem, let's talk about it. Let's work it out. Right? Keeping quiet does not help. You know how I can prove this? I know it's going to sound dumb. I have a grandbaby now, so we watch a lot of this. One of her favorite VeggieTales is Esther. You know what Mordecai, her cousin, says to her when she says, "I don't want to be queen"? She says, "Keeping quiet won't save you. It won't save you. When he finds out you're part of our family too, he's going to kill you too." Are you with me? She could have been quiet. Would it have saved her life? Nope, it wouldn't have. But she spoke out. And sometimes speaking out is going to be scary because you don't know.
True.
You don't know who's been through what you've been through.
True.
You don't know what you're going to get. You're going to open yourself up for maybe hurt. But here's the thing. Either you're going to open yourself up, you may get a little bit hurt, but then you're going to get some healing through that. Because guess what? Healing only comes through hurt.
There's nothing to heal from if you're not hurt.
You can't get healing if you're not hurt.
So true.
Right? And so, I'm getting all of them like, wow, it's crazy. So, it's okay if you're hurt. It's okay if you've been through something. What's not okay is for you to act like everything's okay all the time and you've not been through anything. You know, I'm 46. I'm young. Girl than some and older than others. But I'm young, I think. And right now at my age, I am so tired of acting like I got it all taken care of. I got it all fine. I don't need any help. Knowing every day I deal with something that's bigger than me. God, I need your help. If you have a spouse like mine, Tina, I don't know what this looks like. I'm confused. I don't get it. But see, not saying something to people that love you and are there for you, how can they help you?
It's true.
If you don't know I'm hurting, you can't help me. I mean, you know I'm hurting because you know me, been a long time with me. But if I don't share it, you can't help me.
So like he was saying, the people you trust, the people you love, that leads us back to the not sharing your dirty laundry with everybody. But sometimes, like what has happened to us in the past couple of days, God will bring somebody into your path that you didn't even think about, that will come through to be an encouragement for you because you did share your heart. And then God will send somebody, or he'll bring someone either to your mind or put you on someone else's mind, and they're like, "Hey, I've been there and I can walk through this with you." Those people are the ones that you link arms with and you get, because they have your best interests at heart. They want to help you get to the other side. Now, on the flip side of this, if you're the person that someone, because let's be honest, for some people, my husband, he is not good at it. He has grown tremendously in the last year about sharing things because, like he said, he used to just bottle it. Y'all, that is not healthy for you mentally or physically, because it will show itself in other ways. It's not healthy. But for someone to come to you and be like, "Hey, I am really struggling here." If someone has sought you out to be that person, you know, Brene Brown talks about being a vault. When they come to you, you have to become a vault. They are trusting you to hold this. They're trusting you to walk them through this with the best of intentions. Not for you to go tell Susie, not for you to go tell Billy Bob. That's not what they're coming to you for. Or not so you can be at the water cooler at work and be like, I knew they were struggling with something. Hopefully, if you're that person, someone's not going to come and trust you with their heart. But take it very seriously if someone is coming to you and saying, "Hey, I am on the struggle bus here. Can you help me with this?" And the worst thing you can do, like Grant said, is act like you've always had it all together. You know, we were talking to somebody tonight, and we were talking about kids, and I looked at them and I said, well, let's be honest. I mean, y'all, my kids are grown. We're grandparents now. But I looked at them and I said, let's be honest. That first kid, they're a science experiment. No, none of us know what the heck we're doing with that first kid.
No.
Now, there are people out there be like, oh, yes, I did this and that. Good for you. Okay, great. But don't act like you had it all together and you never struggled when someone comes to you, because that's not helping them at all. Be willing to be real with them. And y'all, I pay attention to what my friends post on Facebook. I pay attention to the things they share. And I have seen so many people sharing so many things that tell me there's a whole lot of people in this world that are struggling with things right now. Are we all struggling with the same thing? No. But we're all struggling with something. So rather than all of us putting up this facade that we have to be all together, we have to be perfect, how about if we just show a little empathy to one another and link arms with each other, and let's just walk through some mess together, and we can come through on the other side better for it. You know, I said this the other day. There's another word in our house for mess. Y'all can fill in the blanks. It's stuff that doesn't smell real good. So if I'm going to walk through the mess with you, I'm going to get some of it on my shoes.
Sure you are.
It's going to stink.
Right.
We're both going to stink. But let's walk through some mess, because also, you know, if you use mess in your yard, what happens to the grass? It gets more green. It's better grass. So let's walk through that mess so we can see the beauty on the other side. But you might need somebody to walk through it with you. I know there's those of us out there that have that strong will, and we can be like, you know what? I can do this. I get that. But every now and again, you still need somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Find your people. Don't get in that corner by yourself, y'all. That's mentally dangerous, spiritually dangerous, and sometimes if it's long enough, it can be physically dangerous.
Just say that. She's leading right into what I was going to tell a story. On my story, I was going to tell about my story. I can tell you where it was. I can tell you when they took the picture, and we looked at it, and what happened to change my life completely. I'm not mad at her. I thank God that she had enough courage to say something. Okay, we had just got done eating with my whole family. I think my mom was around at what's that chicken place in Burleson, Babes, and she wanted to take a picture with me, so we took a picture together, sitting on the bench there. I had a Nike hoodie on, and we were sitting our heads like this together. And the words she said, people's told me before, and it never hit. But you know when something hits real and you feel it? I felt it right then. It wasn't even mean. It was a like, I love you. I care about you. She said, what's wrong with your face? I know it sounds funny. Ha ha, that's funny. But it's how she said it. Dad, what's wrong with your face? I wish I had the picture here. I would show you. I got a picture upstairs.
It's way upstairs.
It's a picture, and our faces are together. My face is so oversized, guys. I'm probably 270 pounds. 270 pounds, no lie. I'm not kidding. My legs hurt. My back hurt. My feet hurt. Couldn't breathe, and I walked. And I thought everything was okay. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to discuss it. But at that moment, when she did want to talk about it, and she did feel concerned, I woke up. I said, maybe there's something to this. Maybe there's something to that. Maybe that God put somebody in my life that's going to help me wake up. That I love and I care about. Because Joe down the street could have said that. I would have said, shut up and leave me alone. But when your baby girl says it to you, it changes.
Yeah.
That moment, I made a decision. I want to be alive to see the people I love. So I changed. I changed some things, right? I didn't want to be the same. Now here's what I'm talking about with you're not alone. Here, I want to get to this. It's going to be a process. I didn't go from 270 to 200 in a week.
No.
A week and a half. 2 weeks. 6 months. It's a process, and guess what? It's still a process. Have to do the right things today to keep them going back there. See, so when we go through things, here's the thing. You don't all of a sudden get over it. You don't all of a sudden get through it. You don't all of a sudden go on the other side like the Red Sea, walk across, and then God makes the waters go down. It may not be that way for you. You may have to walk around the wall every day for 7 days. And the last day 7 times. You may have to keep doing that. Keep doing that. It gets old. It gets mundane. But when you look back, you're saying, oh my gosh, I changed. I'm not the same.
Yeah.
It doesn't hit me the same. I feel better. I look better. Anyway, but I'm just saying it's a process. And here's where we're wrong. And I'm wrong as leaders. Here's where we're wrong as leaders. We tell people, pray, listen, and God will take care of it. What?
Something missing in that equation.
There's something missing. There's something missing. You took me out of it.
Yeah.
I have to do nothing then. I can just pray, believe, and God will fix it.
Negative.
Okay, I want you to do something next time you go to get your car, battery on your car. I want you to take your car up there and tell the mechanic to put the battery in. Just set the battery in the car. Don't worry about anything else. And then go pick it up and start it. It won't start. You know why? You have to have the positive and negative on. If one of them's not on, it's not going to work. You have to do something in the equation.
That's true.
You have to get up, Grant. You have to get up in videos. Mm-hmm. You have to work out every day, even when you don't want to, Grant. And when you want a piece of cake, you don't eat cake, you eat an apple, Grant. Grant, you may have to go to the park and walk tonight, Grant. I'm talking to me now. This was me, my struggle. And guess what? It's a struggle today. I'm raised with a family that, okay, for the nice word, we're big bone people is what they say. We're big people. It's a struggle today. I like to eat. But I know I don't want to go back with Jasmine here, looking in a picture with her with a huge face. I want to be like this with her. Thank you. Thank you that you had enough guts, enough courage to wake me up. Guys, God's going to put people in your life that's going to be there to wake you up. What are you doing, man?
Yeah.
Quit laying down in the mud and nasty. Feel sorry for yourself. We've all been in messed up situations. We've all been there. We got to get up. We got to get up and like my pastor in Oklahoma, dust yourself off. Dust yourself off. Yeah. You got to keep going. When you stop caring, that's when it's over for you. You're done.
Yeah.
You're done.
And like Grant was talking about the process, there's one thing my boss always tells us when there's something new coming. Like, we even joked and talked about making shirts. But you got to trust the process.
Oh, man.
You have to trust the process. And Grant didn't do that on his own. He had a whole circle of cheerleaders. Y'all, I would leave notes around everywhere.
There's still notes hanging around everywhere.
Yes, he has a note on he puts his workouts on a marker board every week. And there's still 2 notes, we can see them right now, that I wrote him that I don't even know how long ago. But he keeps those.
I won't touch them.
Because when people are truly for you, when they truly want the best for you, they're going to be there for you on the good days. They're going to be there for you on the bad days. When you need a hug, they're going to give you a hug. And when you need good, swift kick in the butt, they're going to do that too. But the most important thing is you got to find your tribe of people. And again, sometimes through the mess, it's going to be very unlikely people that you didn't even think about. Some of our greatest encouragement in the past 6 months has come from people that we never expected.
It's true. It's true.
Funny how God works things out.
It is. It is.
But we just wanted to make sure you know, don't struggle alone. Because regardless of what people around you want you to think, we are all struggling. It could be something minor. It could be something major. It could be money. It could be loss. It could be, like, y'all, we could make a list. I can't even make a list because I would miss everything. But everybody is or has or will struggled with something. Don't struggle alone. Reach out for help. Find your trusted people and reach out.
Because if you're quiet, it's not going to mean you're saved. You're never going to get help. You're never going to get freedom if you're quiet. I've had to learn that, guys. I'm 46, and I'm learning that now. All of my life, be quiet. It'll get better. If you don't talk about it, it'll get better. If you don't bring it up, it'll get better. It's just mental. It's all right. What? No.
The biggest battles we face
true.
are usually right between our ears.
That's it, guys. You have to talk about it, and it's okay. We just want. I think the gist of all this tonight. Talk about it. Find somebody that you love
and
loves you, and you trust them, and they trust you, and they want what's best for you.
Yeah.
And share what your struggle is. You never know. Maybe they went through it 10 years ago and can share their story with you. You don't know until you talk about it.
It's true.
Anyway, guys, we've been past 30 minutes, I know, but hey, I think I always say this at the end because I want to make sure everybody understands. We say this for encouragement. We don't have it all figured out. We're never going to have it all figured out. We're working through things every day, okay? Trying to get better. So we love y'all. We hope you have the rest of your evening. Hope you have a good one. Hope you have a good day tomorrow at work.
Yep. We love you guys. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.